Who's your emergency contact? Who should we notify in the case of death? Welcome to the USP, where I spent the last 2+ decades of my life. I'm in Atwater. Right now at this time, at some places, there's an alliance between the Native Americans and the Asian Islanders. But it has never been that way before I got to Atwater. And the story I'm about to share with you is before we had the alliance. We've always been cool, but us Asian Islander, we're cool with everybody. And a lot of times we hang out and kick it with the natives. But, for us and the Native Americans, we're considered others. But, the natives always done their thing, their own politics. We do our thing, and we deal with our own politics. But we always had, a friendly relationship. But when I first got to Atwater, we didn't have any alliances. Like some of the homies that live in the block, they were close with some of the natives, and others weren't, or whatever. It was just, however, it was on a personal relationship. But that's with me. With me is with anybody. I don't care if you're Native American. I don't care if you're black. I don't care if you're white. If me and you are kicking it and we're cool and you're a good dude, a stand-up dude, meeting the standards that I set for myself, then we cool and we can kick it and we kicking it and we shake and we breaking bread. If something happens, I got you. But I can't just insert myself in every situation, because we have rules in there that everybody has to abide by. Unless I feel strongly enough about something that I'm willing to take whatever repercussion, that comes with my action, then yeah, and I've done it. And these are the stories that I'm gonna share with you down the road. But in this particular incident, over there in Atwater, Native Americans has TVs and tables in every unit. Asian Islanders, we have TVs and tables in every unit. As far as there's always more black people in the penitentiary. And we can go into that with all the racist shit in the justice system and the crack laws and all that stuff. But the blacks aren't unified. They get broke up into all the different gangs, all different states. Same thing with the whites. After the blacks, it's Mexicans. The Mexicans are unified. Yeah, they have all their different gangs and whatnot, but when shit pops off, if it's one Mexican, it's all Mexicans, And the white boys in Atwater, like I said, in Atwater, when they allowed the federal prison to open up a USP in Atwater, the community allowed them to open up that prison, so as long as they don't put no black hand there or no Aryan Brotherhood. So the white boys, they're not really as unified as they're supposed to be. You got your gang members and you got your independents. And as far as the gang members go, you got different fractions. So, a lot of issues happens with them, and they don't step up the way that I'm accustomed to them stepping up when I was in Lompoc and Victorville, because there wasn't, one dude that was running the yard that had, that was respected that way. So in this incident, they had the homie, I think his name is Yellow Horse, but he lived in 2B. He ended up punishing another dude over there, one of his own homeboy, another native homeboy, and there was only 2 or 3 natives in 2B. I live in 2A, and like I said, the natives had a TV and tables over there in every block. So Yellow Horse, I know his name starts with Yellow. Yellow Bull or Yellow Horse. If I get it wrong, I'm sorry, homie. But he's a good homie. Well, he ended up punishing one of his homies, and somehow they all got taken to the SHU. So when they got taken to the SHU, the TV and the table became vacant. So the GDs moved on it. the GDs went and took over the table and the TV. So they had this other native dude in my unit named Craig. Now he was a youngster. He was a little wild, but he was with the bullshit. So when he finds out that the GDs over there trying to take over the TV and the table, him and a few other natives, they go to chow at dinner. See, where Craig fucked up is that he didn't hip all his native brothers to the move that he was about to make. And, you know, right now, I don't know if he's home already. I didn't know how much time that he had. But after this incident, there was a green light on him because of the decisions that he made pertaining to this topic that I'm talking about right now. So we're in the chow hall. He goes into the chow hall, and we see them. You know, it's our table. Then there's some blacks, and then there's some natives. Our tables are not together. Like I said, we didn't have an alliance or anything. This is when I first got to Atwater, and you know the natives are wild. They're all forced to run under the umbrella Native Americans, but there's a lot of hatred and animosity within their group, the North, the South, all the different tribes and stuff. And it's almost sad because they never seem to be able to get over that. They're always plotting on each other because they don't like the other guy for whatever reason. So even though they ride together when it comes to an issue with different races or different cars, amongst themselves, they stay chopping each other up. There's always a power struggle. Like, I never understand the power struggle because you want to be the one dictating the politics on the yard for what? You're not getting a paycheck over it. All you get is a headache. But everybody, you know, we're a bunch of alpha males. Everybody wants to be that guy. And, you know, through the course trying to get that mantle, a lot of people get hurt. So at this particular time, Craig goes into the chow hall and he's sitting down over there with the GDs. There's Scrappy, Hog, and a few other ones that I can't name. Scrappy, Hog, they're GDs from the Midwest. And they're sitting in the chow hall talking. Well, next thing I know, it blows up. And Craig, he's stabbing up the GDs, you know. There's like Craig and like 3 of his homies against like 5 or 6 other GDs. And he's stabbing up, and Craig and the natives, they went up there prepared because they're discussing about the table and the TV in that room in 2B. I'm not privy to the conversation because I'm, you know, 3 or 4 tables away. But we see it, we peep, because, you know, everywhere you go, you always want to pay attention to your surroundings and be aware of what's going on so you can protect yourself when something happens, because you never know when something happens. And like I said, no one knew what was going on because Craig never shared his intentions with anybody. So they were over there on the table having a discussion, and the discussion didn't go the way it was supposed to go. And Craig and the natives started stabbing up the GDs in the chow hall. Well, the CO hits the deuces. Now, protocol is you're supposed to lock all the door and keep, you know, the situation contained in this spot so it doesn't spread out throughout the compound. Well, these fucking COs, whoever's working that day, wasn't on top of his job. And he didn't go lock the kitchen door. So all the GDs, when the COs started running in there, that was getting stabbed up or whatever, they broke off and exit the chow hall. While, because all the COs saw was the natives being the aggressor. So the COs detained all the natives in the chow hall, but the GDs was able to slip out. You know, and me and Bryson, we slipped out with them. Because I'm not trying to be locked in the chow hall, sitting there for 2 or 3 hours while they figure whatever's going out. So when the GD was able to slip out of the chow hall, they went and spread the word. You know, when you get hit, there's no more discussion, you know. So when me and Bryson's coming back from the chow hall, we're like, shit, it's going on. But before we can get into our unit and let one of the natives know, because even though we didn't have the alliance at the time, we're still gonna let any native that we run into be like, hey, something's going on. You know what I mean? Hip them up. No one's gonna tell me I can't. But as we go into the chow hall, I'm gonna emphasize this. When I watch TV, I don't have no issues with anybody. You know, and when I do have an issue, I know there's an issue and I go and deal with it. But regardless of how comfortable I feel, when I'm watching TV, when I hear my earbuds, I never put both earbuds in my ear. I always put one in and leave the other one open so that way I can hear what's going on around me. When I have my headphones on, same thing. I'll just have my headphones on the side, like one on my ear and the other one not. Because I'm not going to be sitting there with my feet up on the freaking table, watching TV and not hear what's going on and then get hit upside my head. And that's what happened to this native dude in our block. He was older. He had both his headphones on. Got his feet on the table, watching TV, just like this. The GDs came in, that one that lived in our block, came in, went right to him, crushed him, hit him beside his head. He fell down. They started stomping him. You know, it's 3 of them on him. And he's an older native. They started stomping him. And then they pulled out their knives and started stabbing him. But it was blowing up in every unit because none of the natives was hip to what was going on. So all the GDs were able to get out of the kitchen and spread the word. And then in 3B, they had these 2 DC dudes, one named White Horse and the other one named Red Dog. You know, when it comes to the DC dudes, they're on black time. It doesn't matter if their situation involves them or not. If they know it's blacks against whoever, they're going to go. And like I said, no matter how cool you are or whatever with other races, with other people, when the line's drawn, the line's drawn. And I forgot the native homie in that block, but when their GDs came back and they heard that it was blacks against the natives, White Horse and Red Dog went up into one of the native cell. And again, he was on his bunk reading a book, kicking back with his headphone on. Red Dog and White Horse went in there and started stabbing him up. And from what I hear, because I don't live in 3B, the native dude was just screaming for his life because they were over in there butchering him. You know, part of the reason I'm telling you this story is like, you can never be too comfortable. And a lot of instances that you get into might not even have anything to do with you, but you're in a coalition. You're under an umbrella of a car, of a white car, black car, Crip car, blood car, Midwest car, whatever, skinhead. You can go down the list. There's so many different fractions of different gangs and whatever that I can't remember them all. But the point is that you wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning. The doors crack at 6 o'clock in the morning. So your ass better be up. Make yourself your coffee, grab your knife, and get ready for the day. Because you don't want to be in bed thinking everything is cool because you're a cool dude and you get along with everybody and everybody gets along with you. But you don't know what your homie's going to do. He might go down to your child just like right now and bust a move. And you're over here in bed or watching TV with your headphones on, not having a clue, and get your head busted. I've never taken a nap in the penitentiary. You know, from 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock, I'm up. Don't matter how tired I am, don't matter what's going on, I don't take no naps. For this reason right here, I'm not about to get caught slipping. You know, welcome to the USP.